Welcome to another magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, and the moon is in Libra while the sun is in Aquarius. This is what we call a closing trine transit. The difference between an opening trine that we had in Gemini and the closing trine that we have in Libra is the full moon in Leo, where the opening trine integrates the energy of an activating cycle in order to be complete, and the closing trine reaps from the harvest of a full moon. With the moon here in Libra, what we're reaping after we've charged our vessels and circuit boards with the full moon in Leo is the intellectual grasp of power that could be expressed socially, and you will be receptive within social dynamics with other people or other facets of yourself individually. And so this is definitely going to be quite the extraordinary transit, balancing the nature of how powerfully you're able to take everything you've mastered through Moon in Virgo and now communicate, express, and much more, once again, intellectually grasp like never before. This is one of those transits that's going to be very chill, but everything's happening beneath your nose and behind the scenes. Like the Mercury retrograde that started its retrograde during the Moon in Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. Small stuff like that really just, once again, denotes the genius of the zodiac. And before the third quarter square in Scorpio, where you will now transform, now that your vessel is charged, this moon in Libra aspect is the last zodiac sign that's getting ready to have us harvest the high intellectual knowledge of the power you're manifesting from Capricorn. And Libra is social power, whereas Capricorn is collective power. Social power is activism, getting a whole group of people as an individual to go out socially and speak one voice. Collective power is government power that can seize all your assets without any real reason, which is why Capricorn needs integrity to function. And outside of this, now that we're ascending the classic nature of your character to understand more and know more what you're manifesting, this is going to represent, relative to the purpose of Aquarius season, which is spearheading the ascension into your God self, the ninth house ascension aspect with the closing trine of literally ascending your character into your God self. So that when the moon goes in Scorpio, you're going to actually literally transform into this coming into the new moon. And so this is interesting because the Mercury retrograde is getting ready to reevaluate the knowledge of yourself in light of new experiences with other people, where you start to see aspects of your own power you started developing 2 weeks ago start to play out with other people, uninhibited, without you having to really control it. And there's so many different aspects concerning this period that are going to really shake and change the nature of how you express yourself. It's just, this may be so subtle, your attention isn't going to be focused on that. In fact, over the next 12 hours, your entire life can change because you're tapping into a different facet of your identity that could not make sense until now. this is also going to have you reevaluate and look at the events of the past 3 weeks and start to see the truth of it. A huge disillusionment is going to be had because Virgo stays with receipts. And so promises made versus promises not kept are going to be tallying up. A real understanding in retrospect of events in light of new evidence will also, this is all happening now, will also come into more shocking realization. The moon in Libra is 9th house to the Aqua Sun. This is the light, the 9th house aspect of ascension. And so as you socially ascend this nature of your character in a way that will not only reveal the extraordinary quality of everything you're personally stepping into and understanding about your higher purpose and higher self and universal self, or universal being, or universal collective, the shocking realizations will only be shocking because at this stage you've charged your vessel after this new moon in Capricorn cycle that is literally ascending your ability to harness supernatural power and ability. The biggest reason why most people can't harness superpowers isn't because they're not able. They don't believe they can. They decide. Before you believe, you have to decide, because Capricorn comes before Pisces. So if you believe that this shit doesn't work, if you don't believe that this is true, certain aspects of it unconsciously will still work through you, but you'll either relate it to coincidence or you will just deny it. And a lot of people are in denial of their own abilities. There's not a single person alive on this earth that does not have supernatural abilities, but everyone's either in the closet or in a position where they're suppressed and they can't express it. Mechanisms of the system that we live in today, which is dying, this whole system is dead anyway, is reinforcing suppressive mechanics to make sure your vibration never raises during a certain, raises past a certain level. And we know this is true because of the frequency of entertainment and also programs used to keep your vibration in a certain state. So when we get into Pisces season, you will believe in facets of yourself you didn't know how to believe. But right now, you're getting ready to conclude a very powerful and important cycle in Aquarius that's going to really have you reestablish your relationship with individuals who've been a challenge to you and really have been antagonizing you. This is another stage of a counterattack and a turnaround, because the energy in Aries that sparked this attitude is completing in Libra with a philosophy that can now be practically practiced in relationships, Libra, with other people. And this is where the genius with which you operate will shine, in many cases without even having to say any words, because you know, or you're in the know. When the moon goes into Scorpio tomorrow, a lot that was in the dark will be made public, because Scorpio is 10th house to the Aqua Sun. Then it's going to come to the light in Sagittarius for everyone, 11th house. And this new moon is going to be the stuff of legend. Word on the street is the last time we had 7 planets in Aqua, the dark ages ended and the plagues, and we stepped into the Renaissance. So, it's not a coincidence that this is happening with the Pluto return, where the last time Pluto was in this spot, America fought for its independence. There's a revolution of the individual. And when Uranus entered Aries fought for its independence from the colonial rule of Capricorn, the collective force. A lot of people don't know that Aries has been at war for the past 10 years. And the reason why a lot of you are stepping forth to really express yourself on these independent platforms is because Aries did it first. And we all need to really thank Aries for that, because this war is still going on, to where now Leo entered the war. I'm going to make a special video about this. I'll add my comedic spin, but this is still going on. And a lot of propaganda is out there to kind of make this, not be known. So this isn't to pit signs against each other, that no sign is really good or bad, even though yes, it is, but not really. But this is an analogy of how Aries, because this all can relate within you too. Okay, the different facets of the signs within you. Aries has declared war against Capricorn, Well, no. Aries declared independence when Uranus entered, okay, last decade. So that it can, just like a country that claims independence from a colonized ruler, Aries claimed independence. And then Capricorn waged war on Aries. And then everyone stayed neutral because no one really wanted smoke, right? So the only one who assisted Aries was Gemini. They were like, Gemini, we need some angels. Gemini's like, you ain't said nothing but a word. And we came through. As soon as that happened, Capricorn waged war on Gemini. This is before Saturn went through Sagittarius and opposed Gemini and started attack like, ooh, I'm going in. Capricorn didn't wage war on Taurus because Taurus is a land where materials and resources are had. This is where the corporations Capricorn makes is founded. So Taurus decided to stay neutral at first, but also let Gemini and Aries come through and pass through the land. At some point, when Uranus entered Taurus, Uranus entered the alliance of the individual with Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and then Capricorn, or rather Scorpio, who's allies with Capricorn, waged war against Taurus, which means Capricorn was in the war against Taurus, and Taurus was in the war officially, baby! As soon as Uranus entered Taurus, Taurus is in the war now. And because Cancer is BFFs with Taurus, and Cancer supplies forces to Taurus, Capricorn waged war on Cancer after Scorpio waged war on Taurus. Because Taurus was helping Gemini and Aries. This shit is really deep politics. And I want you to comment if you notice this, either within yourself or during people, because I'm going to explain it in a way that doesn't let the 3D, dismiss it. But after Cancer got declared war by, this is why during Uranus and Taurus, when Taurus entered the war and then Cancer got declared war and then Saturn was opposite Cancer, you saw Pop Smoke die, you saw Chad Boseman die. So shit like this isn't a coincidence. Shit like this ain't a coincidence. And so Leo was generally neutral. Virgo assisted Capricorn and Scorpio, because Scorpio and Virgo are BFFs. So Virgo didn't hate on Aries and Gemini or that initiative, but they supply the hires, right? And Leo stayed neutral. And so when Saturn went into Aquarius, okay, the Capricorn Aqua Saturn alliance agenda was mad that Leo didn't really do anything against the individuals, and then declared war on Leo. So Leo in the war now. Ooh, Leo in the war now. Like, I don't think y'all know, this shit is crazy. They're not necessarily in the individual alliance, but you have the individual alliance of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, who don't always fuck with each other like that, but we together right now. And then Leo. All we need is Virgo, and this war can be switched. I don't want to say too much, but this is huge, because it's starting to all come together. And yeah, B, that doesn't mean if you're any of the signs you're bad like this. You may find, like I know a Capricorn with an aqua moon, right? But his rising's in Aries, so he identifies with the individual alliance. So there's so many ways of if you're identify the earth sign doesn't mean you're bad like this. I'm gonna break it down. But with the moon in Libra, you're going to see, with the knowledge of these conflicts inside you and relayed outside, what your role is in this, who you are into this, and how to interface socially with other people through this. As an individual in a collective society that wants to limit your rights using political mumbo jumbo and rhetoric to get away with it, this is going to not only equip you with the knowledge of what you can do and what to do, but who to do it with coming into the new moon in Aquarius. And there are other individuals just like you who aren't with the bullshit and are ready to die for this shit. A lot of people are not willing to die for this shit. And I want to leave you with, you have the option of remaining in a pit. The path you're taking may take 80 years. You look very up that. It may take damn near your whole life. A lot of people see that and it's like, that's unrealistic. I'll just stay in this pit down here for my whole life. Versus the few who may it take nearly their whole life, but they make it through and they leave a new free world for the next generation to come through. No one ever said it'll be easy, but this is why many are called, but few are chosen. And for you strong-minded individuals out here, a transit like this is going to remind you why you want top and you to go.